Hi, third grade. It's Mrs. D'Amico here. Today we're going to look at Unit 6, Week 1, Day 4. Let's get started with drill sounds warm up. Repeat after me. A, apple, A. A, safe, A. A, acorn, A. A, wash, ah. A, squash, ah. E, ed, eh. E, Pete, E. E, me, E. I, itch, I. I, pine, I. I, hi, I. And I'm actually going to expose you to this keyword. I champion E. Say it. Very good. O octopus aw. O home O. O no O. U up U mule you. U rule oo. U pupil you. U flew oo. Y cry I. Y baby E. Good job. Okay, let's not forget our R controlled vowels. AR car R. OR horn or. ER her IR bird and UR burn Nice work. Okay, behind you now, you see our word of the day today, which is stud. This is a closed syllable. E. Everyone say the whole word. Stud E. Very good. Now let's mark it up here. Always scoop your syllables first. Stud E. We already said what kind of syllable is this? Right, closed. The one vowel is short because it is closed in by this consonant. And this is what kind of syllable? E. It has a long vowel. This is open, correct. And we don't just put a macron over the Y. Instead, we say what sound it makes. So this is the long E sound here. Now, some of you might be saying, Mrs. D'Amico, yesterday and the day before, we said that Y doesn't like to be alone, right? And you are right. Normally it doesn't, but this word in particular, study, is an exception. It is because we said before, if you have a syllable that has a short vowel in the first syllable, and then that Y, typically, like in the word bunny or in the word penny that we've been building, you double that consonant so that one stays with the short vowel to close it in and one stays with the Y so it's not lonely. However, study is an exception. And I'm actually going to tell you there's one other exception to that rule, and that is the word, I'll build it real quick. You'll know this syllable when I build it. What's that say? Cop. It's closed. It has a short vowel. But whenever you copy, right, if I have to copy papers for the students, that one is also an exception. You do not double that consonant in the word study or copy. In fact, there's a little trick they ask me to tell you to remember those two exceptions to that doubling rule. Think of the phrase, you should study, not copy. That'll help you remember those two rules, two words that do not double that consonant there. Okay? Let's clean this one up because I don't want to confuse you with our word of the day. And somehow I accidentally deleted our marking, so good thing it's fast to do this. Scoop syllables. We already said this is closed. We put a breve, right? And then this one's open, and we said it sounds like a long E. All right, so what we need to do next is take out your student notebook. On page 76, you're going to write the word, find your next available S in your vocabulary section. Okay, so you're in here, page 76. I see above me I've already done shipment, scrapped, and now I'm I'm spelling and marking the word of the day today, study, just like that. Okay, pause the video if you need to, but remember this is on page 76. Study. Okay, make sure you're scooping it, marking what kind of syllable type, and marking your vowels. All right, let's go ahead and I will tell you, dictate the sentence. I'm writing it as well. I have to study for this test. Okay, I'll read it again. I have to study for this test. Double check your capitalization and punctuation. Okay, let me turn it so you can check your spelling. I have to study, there we go, for this test. And as I said that, I could kind of hear the phrases that I want to keep together when I scoop this sentence. I like it to sound like I have to study for this test. So I chose to do 2 scoops with my sentence. Maybe yours sounds like that. Maybe yours is a little bit different. You decide. I have to study for this test. All right, nice work. Okay, before we watch our new concept for today, I wanted to build 3 words to see how we're doing with applying these rules for words with open syllables. So the first word I want you to help me build is the word buggy. Say it. Buggy. Sometimes when I go grocery shopping, I call my cart a buggy. Okay, so bug-y. Now let's see. Was this word, do you hear a short vowel in the first syllable? You do. So let's bug. Like up. Okay, and g, bug. All right, now this is not like our word of the day, study. Remember that was, you should study, not copy. The other words that end with this, you never want your consonant or your Y to be alone. So that's when you double the consonant, right? And put it with the Y. So when we mark this, buggy, we had to keep this closed. We know this is a short, so we had to put a bonus letter here to keep that closed. And then the only other thing is this is open, right? And it makes the long E sound again here. Okay, so that was buggy. Okay, let's try another one. Let me exit that and clear this. And the other word I have is also 2 syllables. And the word I want you to think about next is Navy. So Navy could be a branch of our military, or it could be the color. Dark blue is navy blue. So Navy. What do you think? A, it's an open syllable, good. And V. Am I putting an E? No, I'm putting the Y here that sounds like E, right? Marking that up super quickly. Navy. They're both what kind of syllables? Open, right? Because they have these long vowel sounds. Open. This is not, we're not just going to throw a macron over the Y. Remember, we say what it sounds like. Good. Navy. Nice work. If I exit that and clear, let's just do one more. And this one's just 1 syllable, so I'm not even going to get out my syllable frames actually. The word is why. Say it. Why? Why did you do that? What do we spell? It's the W-H whistle, W. Go ahead, the digraph. And do we have an I in why? No, this is like that Y cry I. So when we mark something like this, remember it's just one syllable, scoop it. It is open because it has this long vowel sound. But in this time, since it's one syllable, it doesn't sound like an E, it sounds like an I. Correct. And we know how to mark a digraph too if you want to do that. One line because it makes one sound. Y. Good job. Okay, now we're going to listen real quickly to learn our new concept for today. Here we go.
Hi everyone and welcome back to Fundations Level 3, Unit 6. I'm Mrs. Rucklin and today we're going to be talking about new sounds for the letters C and G. We call those new sounds soft sounds. You won't need any materials for today's lesson, so let's get started. Let's read this list of words I have on the board right here. Let's read them together. Scent, city, cycle, space. Did you notice the C in each of these words did not say k? The C said s in those words. And that's why when C is followed by E, I, and Y, it's going to make a new sound. It's going to say s. So let's practice with those new sounds. And I'm going to put the C in front of each of these vowels. And let's figure out what the C is going to say. Remember, when it's followed by E, I, and Y, it will say S. All right, let's do our first one. K. And this one, S. S. K. S. Good job. Now I'm going to put some nonsense words up, and we'll see if we can read those. Read it to yourself first. Be sure you look at the letter following the C to decide how to pronounce that. Ready? Here we go. Keg. And the next one will be seg. The next one will be sig. This one will be cug. Good job. You did great. So remembering that C followed by E, I, Y will say S. When it's followed by the other vowels, A, U, and O, it's going to say K. Now let's look at the letter G. But before we do that, I want to show you one more thing about C. In a two-syllable word, like the word fancy, when we have CY in that final syllable, the Y is going to say E. Listen, fancy. Do you hear the E sound of the letter Y? All right, now let's go look at the letter G. I have some words with G in them, and let's say them together. Gem, giant, apology, stage. Did you notice the G in each of these words said J and not G? And that's because G followed by E, I, and Y will make a new sound. It will say J. So let's practice. I'm going to put my G next to each vowel, and let's figure out how we would pronounce that G. This one would be G. This one would be J. This one would be J. This one would be G. And this one would be J. All right, you got it? Let's do some nonsense words. Let me get a letter up there. All right. Looking at the letter following the G to know how to pronounce the G. First word is gad. Next word, say it to yourself, and let's say it together. Jed. To yourself first, and together. Jid. To yourself first, together. Good. Very nice job on learning about the soft sounds for the letter G and C. Remember, When they're followed by E, I, and Y, they make a new sound. So now, when we're drilling our sounds, we're going to add in those new sounds for C and G. So be my echo and repeat. C, K, C, S, followed by E, I, and Y. G, 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 J, when followed by E, I, and Y. Now, we won't be learning these for spelling right now, but we will be using them for reading. So when you're reading today and tomorrow and the next day, be on the lookout for words with the soft sounds of C and G. Great job today, and I'll see you soon. Bye-bye.
Okay, third grade. The last thing we're going to do is do a quick dictation composition book. So go ahead and grab this. If you don't have this at home, make sure you're using a blank sheet of paper to get in some good practice. We are learning a lot of new things in Unit 6. So turn to page 17. If you have this book, we're on page 17. Quickly stick today's date at the top. And this is not a checkup, so you don't need to check that, but we will be going over the answers together. All right, on page 17, at the top, the sound that I first want you to write, this is some new stuff here, remember, is I. Say it. I. Boys and girls, there are 3 things that you should be writing for the I sound. Pause the video and think about it. Okay, take a look. Did you get I consonant E? Did you get I when it's in an open syllable like high? And did you get Y like in why cry I? Okay, those 3 things for the long I sound now. Number 2 is going to be super tricky, but I will help you. The sound is E. Say it. E. There are 4 things. I know you might be looking at me like I'm crazy, but I'm telling you the truth. There are 4 things that you need to write for E. So pause the video and try, and then hit play when you're ready. Okay, let's take a look at my number 2. Hopefully you were able to get this one by yourself. It's E consonant E, like in Pete, or E by itself in an open syllable like me, or Y like in Y baby E. And this is the one that maybe you're thinking, huh? But in the drill sounds warm-up, if you watched closely, we're going to be learning in Unit 6 that sometimes I in a word makes the E sound, like in the word champion. Remember seeing that keyword picture? Okay, so you have to get in a good habit that long E has these 4 combinations that all make the E sound sometimes. Okay? All right, number 3, your sound is IV. Say it. IV. Write it. Okay, check my number 3 over here. IVE, give, IV. This was ours from a few units ago actually. This is the vowel consonant E exception. Remember, because it doesn't say I've always. Sometimes it has IV, like in give, because the E just is there so the V doesn't end the word. And the last sound next to number 4, Eind. Say it. Eind. Go ahead and write it. Okay. Eind is also in our exception row over here. Sorry, I got to scooch it over. It's IND, find, eind. Okay, that is our closed syllable exception. All right, let's move down to the next row and try our luck with some review words. We're going to spell them and then mark them. Next to number 1, your word is swap. Say it. Swap. I wanted to swap books with my neighbor. Let's tap it. S, w, ah, be careful. P, swap. Try it. Before we mark it, let's see how you did with spelling. Did you get the blend, SW? And did you remember that card, A, wash, ah? After a W, that ah sound is usually an A that sounds like ah. Okay, so check, SWAP. Now, when we mark it, you should mark the blend at the beginning. Okay, scoop it. That is a closed syllable. And the symbol that we put on top of that A, because it sounds like an O, we put that one-eyed monster. Remember doing that? That was way back. That's a really big review word there. Okay, swap. Good work. And I hope you know it's kind of hard to tell. Those are two separate underlines because SW is a blend. It's not a digraph. It makes it two different sounds there. All right, move over to number 2. The word is, oh boy, shine, shining. So hopefully you heard a base word and a suffix. Pause the video, no cheating. Try to spell the word shining. The sun is shining brightly today. Shining. Okay. The base word here, shine, has a vowel consonant E, but you're attaching a vowel suffix. So we dropped the E and inserted it when we marked it. Did you get SH, long I, N, drop the E, right? And then circle the suffix ING. Okay, check and see how you did with shining. You do not want your word, okay? This is not a doubling because shine, the base word is not a 111 word. The base word shine is a vowel-e word. So you don't want it to say shinning. That would not make sense. All right, jump down to the next row. Find your number 3. The next word I want you to write is runner. Say it. Runner. Base word, run. And then it has a suffix to mean a person who likes to run is a runner. Go ahead and pause the video and try it. Okay, hopefully you recognize that our base word run is what kind of word? 111 word, right. It has one vowel followed by one consonant. And before you attach a vowel suffix, you need to double that consonant and put a star. That's the doubling rule. You don't want it to say runer, right? You want it to say runner. Check and see. Okay, and the last review word I want you to write is the word ticket. This word has a schwa in it. You should recognize it from Unit 5. Ticket, 2 syllables. Go ahead. Okay, how'd you spell the first syllable part? Tick. T-I, short I, so it's C-K, right. Ticket. And if you needed to use your student notebook to look at your spelling options section, it's actually an unexpected sound here, right? It's not I-T, ticket, even though we say it. This is the schwa. It's E-T. These syllables are both closed, and I marked my vowels. Ticket. All right, let's jump down to the next row. This says current words. So these are going to have that open syllable that we've been talking about in Unit 6. The first word I want you to write is locate. Say it. Locate. I can't locate my homework. Locate. All right. Spell it first and then we'll mark it. Pause the video. All right. How'd you spell the first syllable? Low. It's open, right? L-O. Now be careful here with Kate. Locate. I hope you didn't put C-K for the K sound because it's not following a short vowel. Did you put C or K? C, right. Okay, so check. Locate. Now to mark this, low is open, right? And you put a macron over that long vowel, I hope. Kate, what kind of syllable? Vowel, consonant, E, right. And I hope you put a macron and also crossed off your silent E. Check one more time. How'd you do with locate? Good. All right. And the number 2 word I want you to write is program. Say it. Program. Spell it first and then mark it. Okay, let's check and see on page 17. How did you do with spelling program? Good. Now let's mark it. Scoop. Program. Pro is what kind of syllable? Right, it is open, and I hope you marked a macron above that long vowel. Then gram starts with that blend, am. Right, this is closed, okay? You might have boxed in am, ham, am, or you could have done that. Program. All right, check your markings. Very good. Number 3, the word is native. Say it. Native. Sacagawea was a Native American. Native. Nay. Be careful with tiv. Try it. Pause. All right, let's check and see. How did you do with spelling native? Nay, N-A. Tiv. Did you remember that a word cannot end with V? So you have to put the E there to help it. Now let's think about marking this one up. Native. We scoop the syllables. You should be confident that nay is what kind of syllable? Right, open. Tiv. Ugh. That I is short and that E is silent. It's not long. So this is not a vowel consonant E. This is a vowel dash E what? Exception, because it's not native, it's native. So check and see, how did you do with your marking? All right, it's a vowel dash E exception. Great work. Number 4 is defend. Say it. Defend. I had to defend my best friend when someone was saying something rude. Defend. You stick up for them. Or you could say a goalie in soccer has to defend the net to protect it, to make sure nothing tries to get in there. Defend. All right, let's check your spelling here. How'd you do with D? And how'd you do with fend? Good. Now let's mark it. Scoop the syllables. Defend. D is what kind? Right. Open. Put a macron. Fend. That's short E. That's a closed syllable. So let's check one more time. Your word defend. Did you mark it well? Great. Now the next section says sound-alike words. If you aren't sure, you have a sound-alike section in your student notebook. The first word I want you to write is high. Now you don't know if it's H-I, high, or H-I-G-H. Here's the sentence. That mountain was very high. Which one did you put? H-I-G-H, high, right? And our signal for that word was actually reaching up high and making a mountain peak at the top, high. All right, the next one. Weather. The weather is getting cold now that it is winter. Weather. Write it down, pause the video if you need to, and then let's check your spelling. All right, let's spell it together. Weather. W-E-A-T-H-E-R. Nice work. And the signal for that one was open up your umbrella, stick it over your head for weather. Good work. Okay, trick words. And if you don't remember how to spell these new trick words for Unit 6, you can always use your trick word section in your student notebook. The first word, I love this one, animal. Say it. Animal. Now, this was a word that you should have had in 2nd grade. And again, if you don't remember it, check your student notebook. Animal. Pause the video. All right, hopefully by now you have it. Let's check it. Spell it out loud with me. Animal, go. Animal. Animal. This one has a lot of schwas, doesn't it? Trick. That's why it's a trick word. All right, and number 2, your word is many. Say it. Many. How many pieces of candy should I buy? Many. Pause the video if you need it, and let's see. Many. Spell it with me. M-A-N-Y. Many. Good work. Now I'm only going to give you one sentence today. Are you ready? A lot of my sentences starting with that pronoun I, huh? I predict it will be sunny. Sunny. That's like, think of that word bunny. Rhymes with it. I predict it will be sunny on Thursday. Careful, it's a day of the week. That's a proper noun. I predict it will be sunny on Thursday. Check capitalization, punctuation. Pause the video if you need more time. I predict it will be sunny on Thursday. All right, let's see how you did here. I, is it capitalized? It always should be, especially if it's at the beginning of the sentence, but even if it weren't. How'd you do with this one? This was a word of the day we had in Unit 6. Predict. I predict it will be, how about sunny? Check it. S-U-N-N-Y. Sun, and then that Y doesn't like to be alone. Remember, unless, what were our 2 words today? Do you remember? Study, copy. You should study, not copy. Okay, how'd you do with on Thursday? Did you capitalize Thursday? It's a proper noun. All right, now let's talk about scooping. I think I predict it will be sunny on Thursday. Mine has 3 scoops. I predict it will be sunny on Thursday. Yours might be a little bit different, but check for punctuation too at the end. Do you have it? All right, 3rd grade. Well, that was a good practice day. We're sure are learning a lot in Unit 6, aren't we? And I will see you back to learn more next time. Bye-bye.